Hi, everybody. This is Michelle Grisby. I am here with my beautiful business partner, Donna Rios. Hi, Donna. How are you?
Hey, Michelle. Oh, I'm doing well. I'm doing really well. I'm really excited about today's training, and we're just going to ignore all our technical things because you just love the internet. And but what's really exciting is that the fact that we still get to do this, and I'm looking at myself and thinking, whoa, you need some help.
What? You're
I,
beautiful, Donna. What are you
oh,
talking about? My beautiful business partner, Donna Rios. Hi, Donna. How are you?
I think
That
that was
is
me this
you.
time,
I don't
Michelle.
think you've done that. No, but I wanted to really quickly welcome everybody. Donna, you are beautiful and you are intelligent. I mean, my gosh, you're like the full package. And
Yeah.
she is very smart, you guys. And folks, I am just really excited that you're here because today we're going to bring you some really cool tips on some things that is going to help take your business to the next level. And Don and I, we both work from home, and it is an absolute awesome pleasure to be able to do so. I'm able to live with my mom and help take care of her as she's recuperating from an illness. And if I had a 9-to-5 job, that would be really stressful and very expensive because I'd have to hire somebody to watch her, and instead I can be here to take care of her and watch over her and all that. And it just gives me so much pleasure to be able to say that, yeah, it's possible that you can absolutely have a business working from home. And Donna, you've been working from home for a while too, haven't you?
I have. It's been, I'm not good with just time, and just in general. I know it's been like 5 years, that we've been doing this, but, I personally, yeah, I've been online for a long time. I do web designing and that kind of stuff. So that's put me online and created my skills and my talents and abilities. But now learning how to market yourself and market your skills and abilities or your products or services, that's a whole nother ball game. And that's when I just really felt like I took off and really got into the knack and into the swing of things when I aligned myself with specific people. And then when Michelle and I kind of partnered together, we helped each other kind of staying focused and growing each other's businesses, but at the same time, what we were trying to do with the Blog Babes.
Absolutely. And guys, speaking of which, the Blog Babes, we are really excited to invite you to look at our inner circle training. And all you do, guys, is you go to theblogbabes.com, and just over on the navigation bar, just click on Inner Circle, or just go to theblogbabes.com inner-circle. And what we want to do is we want to invite you to consider looking at joining our Inner Circle, because that is a place that Donna and I have created where we, people that are like-minded, we can mastermind, share ideas, motivate each other. We are here to help you take your business to the next level. We, being experienced marketers, we're here to help critique your work and give you recommendations on what to do. And we also are going to give you exactly the step-by-steps you need to start from scratch. And the most important thing, though, is that Don and I are going to make ourselves available to do one-on-one coaching and give you a place where you can have questions answered as they come up and help you keep on track and focused, because it can get frustrating when you're trying to establish an online business. And there's certain things that we recommend that you do not do, and there's certain things that we recommend that you do. And I think that Don and I can both admit that we learned that the hard way. And the rule of thumb is that in order for you to become an expert at something, you need to invest about 10,000 hours into learning your skill or your craft. And what we want to do is we want to be able to help cut that, like, drastically. Right. Donna?
Oh, yeah. Oh, most definitely. And and like Michelle and I learned, and like she said, we learned the hard way, because when you're coming online, you think you can do everything for free, and you think that you can do it all yourself. And sometimes it takes a little bit of time for you to kind of stumble along and fall on your face a couple times to realize that, hey, I do need a little bit of help, and even just a little bit of coaching every once in a while to kind of stay focused on the right direction, or to stay focused on the things that you're really wanting to grow and to portray. So that's what we're offering here. We're really excited, like Michelle said, about this. We're really focusing on the support aspect of the inner circle, with our top secret Facebook group, where Michelle and I are going to be pretty active in. We're going to be doing webinars, just specifically for our group. And we're just really excited to be able to share into the lives of the people that decide to join us. And, we are putting specific trainings together also, but our main focus, again, is going to be on the support. So, that's where we're at. Right, Michelle? Uh-oh.
I muted myself.
Oh, okay.
All right, guys. Well, without any further ado, let's get to the training. Let's get to some meat and potatoes. How's that?
Yeah, that sounds good. That sounds good. Well, today, guys, I'm going to be training a little on Twitter. We're going to kind of change this up just a little bit, because Twitter is it's a huge platform. I didn't get the exact stats on exactly how many people are on there or anything like that, but we just wanted to kind of put when you're coming online, there's so many different platforms that you can use, and one of the biggest things that Michelle and I teach to help keep it where it's real simple for you is the fact to just choose 2 platforms at a time, to really be able to master those, and for you to be able to then feel like, hey, I got this covered and I really know what I'm doing. And so while Facebook, like Michelle calls it, the Mac Daddy of all social media, Twitter is also a very highly targeted platform that, it's totally different, but at the same time, it's very useful. So I'm going to just share my screen, and we're going to jump right into this. I just got some let's pull this up. I just have some, specific techniques. Michelle, can you see my screen okay?
I sure can.
Okay. Specific techniques that we can use to build our Twitter following. And with Twitter, it's used to build your personal or your business brand. You can build your following, and you build your connections here. And with Twitter, this is where we teach you, like I said, to decide on 2 social media platforms, but we want you to pick 2. So with that, we're going to start with, like I said, just Twitter right now, and we're going to talk about 14 mind-blowing Twitter hacks. And oh, let me oh crap! Sorry, you're really seeing our Michelle. Where do I go to do my whole little PowerPoint presentation? Slideshow might help,
there
right?
You go.
Okay.
There you go.
Oh, wow. Okay. So the first one we're going to talk about, of course, is to use hashtags within your Twitter, all your little tweets and things like that. And hashtags help to grow your following, because this is a way that you connect with Twitter. Now, Facebook also uses hashtags, but Twitter is a really big one. Like if you wanted to follow people, say with network marketing, well, you could use hashtags network marketing, and all the people or all the little tweets and all the topics, or it could be blog posts, whatever that people use with the hashtag network marketing, you're going to be able to find and be able to learn how to follow those people. So, and the other thing, and I just wanted to point out, because a lot of people are like, well, where is the hashtag and how do you use it? Well, the hashtag is the number 3 key on your keyboard, and all you do is hit Shift and the number 3, and you're creating your first, the hashtag symbol, and then you can put any word behind that symbol. So, Michelle, I do want you to just kind of chime in here, if I'm missing anything or you feel something else to say, just feel free to jump in, okay?
Of course. Well,
okay.
what else you're going to include on the list. I don't want to throw anything out there if it's already on the list, but I know that there's a rule of thumb on how many hashtags you should use.
Okay.
So the rule of thumb is that there's a certain etiquette around using Twitter, and the rule of thumb is you're only limited to 140 characters, and the rule of thumb is like for Instagram, you can have, my gosh, up to 30 hashtags. And I always recommend utilize them, to your heart's content. But on Twitter, it's a little bit different because the lifespan of a tweet is a lot shorter than, let's say, an Instagram or Facebook post. And the rule of thumb, though, is that when people are looking on their Twitter newsfeed and they go down it, and if they are seeing a whole bunch of hashtags, that is perceived as almost spammy to a certain extent. Like, you don't want more than, I'd say, more than 4 hashtags at the most. Ideally, what I would do is instead do the same tweet if you want to with, whatever your strategy is, and utilize different hashtags at a different time. And I think they said the average lifespan of a tweet now is about 17 minutes. Have you heard that, Donna?
Wow. Yeah. Well, I didn't hear the specific time frame, but I do know that it's, nowhere near what it could be in other platforms. And it's because Twitter is like, it's a news feed, but it's called like a ticker, like when you see running across your TV screen about the top news things that are happening or whatever. That's how Twitter is. And so that's kind of how you think about it.
Exactly. In fact, when you're looking at CNN or Fox News or what have you, and you see those tickers going by, you see that they're repeated constantly. But yeah, you can't repeat the exact same tweet. You can just have one character different, and it will allow you to do that. So I would say retweet. And there's some strategies around like blog posts and things like that you want to get traffic for. You want to do maybe 4 tweets a day when you first do a blog post at different times, and you want to word them a little bit differently so that Twitter will allow you to do that.
Right. That's a great point, Michelle. That's a great point. And let's talk about lists, because lists are they could be a little confusing, and I'm not going to go into like how to build lists in this training because our time frame is is relatively short. So that's probably going to be, as we evolve into our inner circle, we will be developing a whole Twitter product that will go into the how-tos, the details of how to do certain things. So that's something, to watch for, and that's just another plug for our inner circle, I guess, of, where we want to see it go. But anyways, to use lists to follow thought leaders and prospects and peoples that you want to connect with or follow. And there's a way that you can create lists of a specific name, like the thought leader, like if it was Kim Garsh, you can create a list of followers that follow her right within Twitter, and that's a whole learning experience, just in that alone. But that's something that's really powerful also. We want to optimize your Twitter profile with keyword-rich benefit statements, and this is something, it's pretty similar to your Facebook profile. You don't want to just put a bunch of, keywords up there that make no total sense at all to people, but you want to be able to share what is the benefit of why people should follow you. And like, with the Blog Babes, we teach blogging, branding, and social media tips to grow your home business. Well, I guess it could be any business, any online business. But anyways, I just threw that in there, just to show you a benefit statement of, when you're talking to people's pain and when you're talking to their emotions, what are you specifically going to help them with, instead of just, using your Twitter profile to share, what you're eating for lunch and breakfast and all that kind of stuff, which, none of us have time for those kind of things. So, and another one is use your Twitter profile to build your list. So be sure to have your URL listed, sending visitors to your lead capture page. And this goes right around. It's just like a big, huge circle of your online marketing platforms. It goes right back to why you need a blog for your online business. So whether it's your building your brand around yourself, or you're building your brand around like the blog babes. That we're building that around a brand. But Michelle and I individually each have our own blogs under our names, and that's because we're building also our personal brand along with our business brand. Now, when I'm talking to you guys, most likely you're building a personal brand right now. You might not have, because you're just coming online, because you're relatively new, you haven't partnered with, per se, another expert to be able to build a brand, a partnership. So you're building your own personal brand. And so that's why you need your blog, because that's where people are going to be able to find out more about you. They're going to be able to grab hold of the trainings, not just trainings that you might do, but just more about you, who you are as a person. Because even though we're in a global economy, with being online, as you're here for any length of time, you find that it can be a very small place. And and we kind of all you get to know people within your niche, and that's a really cool thing. So, Michelle, you want to say anything about that?
Oh yeah, absolutely, absolutely. You would definitely want to put your website, the link to your website, in your Twitter profile. And I don't know if you're going to list this or not, but I think you can have more than one Twitter account too.
Oh, well,
So yeah, I definitely recommend, for like when you're branding yourself, definitely have the link to your blog in there. Some people, are really, really, they really want to get people to go to their capture page too. So, if you have a capture page that you want to send people to, we usually recommend using those inside like your tweets. But, go ahead and create another Twitter account that has the link in the profile to a capture page. But, we are always going to be preaching that you need to be branding yourself as well. And that's why on your main Twitter account, that's branding you. You definitely want to have, a link to your blog. If you don't have a blog yet, then have it linked to your Facebook page. Something where they can learn about you instead of just going straight to your capture page.
Good point, Michelle. Good point. And here's another one that, is just something that we see, and so I just want to kind of encourage you not to do this, is don't pick a username that will give off the impression that you're going to be a nonstop sales pitch, such as buy my awesome wraps, and I'm not picking on anybody that's in the wrap industry. That just kind of came to my mind. But you want people to be able to, remember the whole precedence of being online is to be able to allow people to know, like, and trust you. And if you are doing nothing but pitching a business or pitching your product or telling you, hey, and waving the flags all around that my product is the best or my service is the best or whatever the case, people, it's kind of like walking onto a car sales. Walking into a car dealership knowing you're going to buy a car, but then you get a salesman that comes up to you and they don't even listen to what you're looking for. They're trying to push a certain brand or a certain car on you instantly, and that does nothing but turn you off. Don't you want to just walk away from there? I mean, I know I do. And so that's kind of what this is kind of about, like if you're just pitching your stuff all the time, then people are really going to be turned off from that. They're not going to be wanting to engage with you pretty much on your whole platforms with that aspect. And this one too is use the Twitter search bar to do research on your niche for content creation and product creation. The Twitter search bar is just like any other search, like whether it's in Facebook or even Google. You can search for specific brands. You can search for products. You can search for specific people. So learn to use that, and don't get confused, or don't get overwhelmed by that. Just kind of, a lot of these platforms, they're not hard to use. They just take a little bit of time to learn how to maneuver around and how to grab hold of the things that are going to pertain to you through your marketing efforts.
And I love that feature, Donna, because a lot of people don't know that, when you go to Google and you type in a search for something and you get stuff that's like from 2011 or older, and you want the most recent tweets, or excuse me, the most recent search results. Well, Google's different because it's the people that have established they know all the SEO tactics to have their website appear right on the first page of Google. But the cool thing about Twitter is if you go in and you type in an exact phrase and you specify that if somebody typed in a tweet of that exact phrase, that it will give you the most recent tweets. So you will get more up-to-date, more recent content. Does that make sense?
Oh yeah, that's definitely makes sense. And that's what you want, because exactly like Michelle said, even when I was doing some of the research for this training today, I had to when I was in Google, whether it's giving me images or content, I didn't know. I'm looking for the most recent, and some of them, in one blogging kind of tactic is to take the date off of your content, and that's so that it always stays relevant. Well, and some people, the date is there, and I mean, they're pulling up stuff from back in 2010. Well, 2010 information might not be relevant to 2015, and so it's learning how to kind of decipher all those kind of things, and that, that's just a huge plus in that aspect of things. But this is something, Michelle, and we can kind of talk about this a little bit, is because this has happened to Michelle and I. It's, if we're if we're doing auto posting from Twitter, from other platforms, it's saying that true Twitter users will ignore you. But the thing that I want to focus on here is, like, it's not so much doing auto posting, because, like, we might do Twitter posts through Hootsuite, and that's fine. But if I have my Hootsuite account also connected not just to Twitter but to Facebook, now Hootsuite is then publishing to Twitter and Facebook. And then if I have an Aweber account, and I hope this doesn't get so confusing, but this is the point I'm trying to make. If I have my Aweber account and I'm social sharing my post or my things that I'm posting in Aweber, then all of a sudden I have posts coming from Aweber going to Facebook and Twitter, which sounds good, but then I have Hootsuite going to Facebook and Twitter, and all of a sudden we're getting duplicates of things. And wasn't that happening to us, Michelle?
Absolutely, it sure was. Yeah, because we were using that other tool, IFTT, if this and that. Yeah. And I do love that software. But yeah, there's some auto posting tools that you can use that people will know you're using auto poster, and that's just not. I mean, I do believe strongly in what's the word? Using something like Hootsuite to help you with scheduling your posts. But in regards to automatically posting, like using an auto poster, you have to be careful, because if people know that you're doing that, that can be a turnoff. And yeah, it definitely, people will tune you out or even unfollow you if they know that you're just auto posting. My biggest pet peeve is seeing people that turned on their Facebook auto poster, where if they post something in Facebook, it automatically sends out a tweet. And I mean, I know for a fact that if I do anything to engage with that certain post, first of all, I know that they're probably not going to get it. And the thing about Twitter, and just like all of the social media accounts, you want to be able to engage with the users. And I just know that chances are they're probably not on Twitter, but they're using that, and so it's almost like throwing mud against the wall, you know, and seeing what sticks. I'd rather have somebody knowingly post something, even if it was scheduled, knowing that if I respond or reply or retweet it, that, you know, it will get their attention.
Right, right. Yeah, because auto posters are like, they're just doing that, which I know in the beginning when you're first starting off, it can sound um so great because you're like, oh, well, it can save me so much time. But at the same time, for people that have been online for any length of time, you can see that that is such a, it's kind of not a black mark. I don't want to say that, but at the same time, it's not looked on very favorably just because of the fact we know that you're not there live. I guess you could
Yeah.
say. So let's see, and this is one that Michelle was just talking about just a little bit ago, but only using with Twitter you only have 140 characters. So, but when you want your posts or your tweets on Twitter to be shared and retweeted, you really need to kind of cut that down. So I would suggest, and Michelle, what do you think about this, is only using 100 of the characters to give people, the allowed space to be able to retweet it, to be able to comment, or things like that.
Yeah, because when they retweet something of yours, which then will show up on all their followers, you need room for when they retweet it, it will say like what your tweet is, and it will then say via at, and then it will say what the name of your Twitter handle is. So for us, it would be somebody would retweet something, and it would say on the tweet on their wall via at the blog babes, and then maybe they might want to include a couple of hashtags as well. So that's a great point. Great point.
Yeah. And of course, this is kind of like a no-brainer, but I wanted to add it in here, is to make sure you use link shorteners that are able to be tracked, through your Twitter account. And just a couple that came to my mind was Bitly, Google, and Sniply. And then this way you just create. Do you have to create it? You don't create an account with them, do you, Michelle, or do you? I can't remember.
Well, you do with Sniply. Sniply is kind of our secret little. That's kind of our secret strategy there. I can't believe you put that on there, Donna. Oh, no, but I think that on all those I use Facebook. Like you can link Facebook to it to log in. But you do have to log in, and I just, like Bitly, I just link my Facebook to it. And so I do think you do have to create an account with them.
Yeah, yeah.
And I think with Google, you have to have a Gmail account, of course.
Yes, yeah, yeah. And this was another thing that Michelle was talking about just a little bit ago, but was repurposing your content when writing multiple variations of your tweets. And that's a big strategy, is to be able to take some of the tweets even that you have written before and repurpose them, reuse them to gather the momentum that you're looking for within your tweets. So I think that's a huge tactic also right there. That was something that I didn't learn until just recently also.
Absolutely.
And of course, like with any social media platform, make sure that all your tweets add value to your followers. And this is just, again, it just goes back to creating the value for people to know, like, and trust you. You have to be willing to put out and to be able to produce content that people are looking for, that people, that you're answering a question, or that you're talking to the pain in their life, with whatever you're marketing. And so whether it's the wraps, whether it's anti-aging, whether it's online marketing, anything like that, if you can talk to the pain and then create content about that pain, then most likely you're creating value within the eyes of your followers. And that's a huge thing that, you want to always do.
Love that.
And this is one too, is to retweet great content that thought leaders in your niche share using the hashtags to expand your reach. And so if you're following specific, thought leaders or specific niche leaders within your industry, you want to share their information that's coming across your Twitter newsfeed. And the reason you do that is because it's going to expand your reach, because that's going to be shared now not just to your newsfeed, but it's also going to be shared on their newsfeed also. Isn't that right, Michelle?
That's right. And also, you know what? It's also just common courtesy to retweet other people's content. And it's just kind of an etiquette thing with Twitter. And it definitely notifies them that you tweeted one of their content too, which is really huge because you can get their attention. And that was the strategy that we used, and we were able to get Kim Garst's attention, and she ended up following us back and did some shout outs for us, which is pretty awesome because she's got hundreds of thousands of followers.
That's so true. And then this is also one that Michelle told me about, which I was pretty excited about. But when replying to a tweet, make sure that you put a period before the username. So here's the example. I put the period, the @, the blog babes. And I'm replying to a tweet. This is just an example, and it's saying thanks for your tweet, or thanks for your retweet, or thanks for your mention. But putting the period, what does that do, Michelle, to your
if you put the period before the @, it will show up on their followers' news feeds.
Oh.
And what a lot of people do is they put the @, then the name of the username, the Twitter handle, and if you do that at the very beginning of a tweet, then it's only going to go directly to them.
Wow. So just putting that little period then puts it to everyone that's following their news feed.
Exactly.
Wow. That is just that tip alone. Just that tip alone was worth the time of just listening to this training today, I'll tell you. And this is another one that, I think is pretty big, and then, and it's how you kind of grow your following, is to follow the followers of the top names within your niche. So these are people that are already interested in that niche. They're already active. They're using the platform to connect with like-minded people, and so you want to follow them. And like Michelle said, it's just courtesy and etiquettes within Twitter that, hey, if I follow you, you're going to follow me back. And as long as, we're in the same niche, I'm active, you're active, there's certain things that, you want to kind of figure out, who you want to follow. But the fact is that if Sue is following, say, Kim Garst, well, then most likely I want to follow Sue, and most likely she's going to follow me back.
Oh, that's a great strategy, Donna. Great strategy, because you know that they're like-minded.
Exactly.
And, the people that are following Kim Garst probably need help and want tips and tricks on how to blog or use Twitter or use Instagram or social media. So that's a great tip there.
Exactly. And that's the end of this presentation. But at the same time, I do want to kind of just talk a little bit about this, because we had one of our followers ask us about Twitter verified accounts. And I did some researching on that because about a year or so ago, and Michelle, just kind of chime in too, but I mean, a couple years ago, verified accounts on Twitter was like a big thing. But I don't think that they're as big as they used to be, I don't think they're as big now as they used to be. And this is kind of interesting of some of the things that I found out. It said verified accounts are reviewed on an ongoing basis to make it easier for users to find who they're looking for. Twitter likes to concentrate on high-profile people in music, film, TV, fashion, government, politics, religion, journalism, media, sports, business, and other key interest areas. But basically, if you're a person of public interest or have a high profile enough for people to be seeking you out, you got a good chance of becoming a verified account. But this is strictly from Twitter's little, their little guidelines, I guess. It says We don't accept verified requests from the general public, but we encourage you to continue using Twitter in a meaningful way, and you may be verified in the future. Please note that follower count is not a factor in determining whether your account meets the criteria for verification. So clearly there is no there's no set in stone method for verification, just as there's no hard requirements to attain the badge. But remember, the thing that I want you to remember, like Twitter is saying that, they're only going to verify the high profile kind of people. The thing I want you to remember, and Michelle, just help me with this, but the thing that I want you to remember is that your target market, your niche, most of the followers and the ones that you choose to follow are not notable accounts. We are just people, me and you, and like Michelle, we're people. We're trying to grow we're trying to grow our business and build our brand. And so, Twitter is one way that we can use this account. And so to me, it's not so much, I don't focus, this is my personal opinion, I don't focus on so much the verified accounts as I want to focus on the top names within the niche that I'm in or within the keywords that I'm choosing to follow. And I want to know those thought leaders and then follow their followers, to investigate and to follow their followers, so that we can connect that way, because there's going to be people there that I know that I can help. And it's the same for you. As you follow the followers of the top names within your niche, then you're going to be able to build relationships and be able to help those people that are looking for the help, because that's I guess where we're all at in this thing. So
well, one of the big tip that Kim Garst actually shared is one of her Twitter tips was, do not forget the smaller Twitter users, the ones that have less than 500 followers, because those are really good people to target as well. And so don't just focus on following the big guys, and don't forget about the people that only have a couple hundred followers either, because those could be ideal prospects for you.
That's so true, and it all depends on where your brand is and what your target market is. But like for Michelle and I, we want to focus on helping the new people coming online. So that's an awesome opportunity for us to reach out to people that are just learning, or they're being told they need an account here and an account there and an account here, and they don't have no idea how to deal with all the accounts because they're in overwhelmed mode. And personally, I'm not so concerned about the verified accounts. I just want to be able to find the people that are looking for the help that we can share with them.
Excellent stuff, Donna. Very good. Very good. Yay! Well, guys,
stop.
You guys might be wondering, why would I want to use Twitter, right? Well, I think we just gave you some really good reasons on why. One thing I want to share with you that a lot of people don't know is that Twitter has just recently struck a deal with Google that now a lot of your tweets can be searchable on Google. Did you know that, Donna?
Oh, yeah. Well, now that you mentioned it, yes, I do remember hearing that. That is pretty powerful.
Absolutely. So, the thing is that whenever you do tweets and, whatever your niche is, whatever your business is, you can send a tweet with, something that somebody might be typing if they're looking for something in Google. But, once again, Twitter is a huge, huge, powerful tool to drive traffic to your blog, to capture pages, to your Facebook page, however you want to set it up. But we always recommend a blog so that you can brand yourself. And so, yeah, Donna, that was just value-packed, huge, huge tips. You did such a great job. Oh. And we want to, once again, we definitely want to implore you to go to theblogbabies.com, make sure you're a subscriber, because we do have previous trainings inside our library. And if you guys heard me mention that tool IFTTT, if this and that, I do use that on a couple of things with Twitter. For instance, when I upload something to Instagram, it automatically will pull the image and tweet that. There's nothing else I know of that will pull an image automatically and tweet the image, which is pretty cool.
Right.
And we did a training on that. So you guys need to make sure you're a subscriber and grab that training, because the IFTTT tool is powerful. I use IFTTT, if this, then that. I use that to also, like, for instance, you can, another cool strategy is if somebody is using certain keywords in Twitter, you automatically can add them to a list. And the thing about utilizing a list in Twitter is anytime you add somebody to a list, you can either make it private or public. And if it's public, it will notify that person. And there's been several times whenever we've been added to a list where it was called Rockstar social media stars. And it's like, that's cool. We just got it added to social media stars. My point is that you can utilize that as a way to kind of touch somebody and make them feel good, and you're going to get their attention. They're going to want to go check you out because there's like, who said that just added me to that list? So that was just another little tidbit there for you. And we just want to thank you again for being here on this training. Let us know that you were here. Be sure to visit us on our blog. Make sure you're a subscriber, and we're going to bid you adieu. So we'll see you guys next time. Bye.
Bye.